Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So today we are working on a character for a role-playing game called IRONSWORN. I've talked about this game before, and generally just playing solo games so much, board games and otherwise, that I think, man, I'm trying to remember the videos I did before of playing or talking about Dungeons and Dragons solo. I think the character's name was Olin. Olin. So you can go back and check out a video where I talk a little bit more about that too. But that was more for like Dungeons and Dragons, I think. Iron Sworn's a little bit different, but anyway, I wanted to record. Sometimes I do this because this new style that I'm working in really doesn't take too much time, and I've been kind of going back and forth of sticking with it. You guys know how I am with style. There's reasons I like some and I prefer others, and why I always end up going back to this new style that we've been developing for a while now, and it's just so simple, as you'll see, and I'm able to get some pretty crazy, for me anyway, design language and shape out of there just by using black and white shapes without line weights or proper air quotes rendering and stuff. But just for the process here, as you can see here, it started off as any traditional way that I would have worked on any piece before. It doesn't matter the style. I like to use a nice, thick, almost Sharpie-like brush just to block in some shapes, and then I'll add a transparency layer over top of that, and a brand new layer, and then I'll use it. It's like a smaller Sharpie, just to sort of tighten up some of the decisions that I'll have to make going forward. So where a bicep is, a shoulder, circles, and some of that. And then I'll make a new layer, change it to red, and just put the costume elements on top. And right now what we're doing is, again, I'll just make a brand new layer over top of that to lower the opacity from all those rough layers, and just start doing the tight line art. One of the cool things I love about this style is that it's weird, man. It's like before, I'm used to using like an inking brush, something with some pressure sensitivity to it, and you can go in there and finesse lines. But this has been it's been a journey so far this year. I decided this year to work a little bit more in this style, right? So a lot of the designs and drawings that I've been posting and sharing here and on Patreon has been just a giant learning curve. There's for me anyway. There's a little bit of Magnola in there. There's a little bit of who's the other artist? I can't really remember. But like Corey Lewis, I've talked about. Jack Kirby is one of the main reasons I've gone into doing. Like if you look at his arm there on our left, his right, you can see where I'm doing a little bit more of that Kirby kind of implied anatomy. It's been a lot of fun. I'm not sure where I'm going to be going with this stuff towards the end of the year. I can already tell as I'm kind of ebbing and flowing in styles, and even at my day job at work, I'm currently working on a project that's sort of in reminiscent or a little bit more in vein of my older style, and I do miss it from time to time. But I can't argue the speed and some of the design choices I get from working in this style here. I just love to death. Right now, oh yeah, sorry. So what I was going to say there is towards the end of the year, I'm going to make the decision if I'm just going to stick with this again for maybe another 6 months or a year, or we'll switch it up. We'll see. Like one of the things I'm starting to push now a little bit is like the coloring. And granted, this isn't for comic books, right? This is just a pinup. Again, it's a personal pinup for me. I like to envision my role playing characters as I play them and stuff like that. But coloring has been something that I've always been tinkering around with. It doesn't matter the style. And what I'm doing with this one, you'll see, is in the past, and traditionally I'll add one layer of, it's almost like a purplish pink for the shadows. I'll set the multiply and just put that over top of everything. Just makes things so simple. I've started to add a second layer, which is the exact same purplish pink on top of that. And you'll see after we do the shadows here, I do one pass of shadows, and then I'll go back and I'll do it again for like the really rich, deep shadows. And there's not too much of that. It's just to give it a little bit extra depth to it with very minimal work, to be honest with you. And it's just adding just that, like I say, a little hint of a little more detail. The highlights I'm still kind of going back and forth on. Part of me wants to push it a little bit more, and then other parts of me like it's fine. It looks good. There's like not everything needs to be polished and highlighted and shadowed out of its mind all the time, right? So it's this back and forth. But one thing that I'll do in this that I think I'm going to keep pushing a little bit further, because normally the coloring I would do here, it's like the old school. I think it's 128. I could be wrong. Maybe 64, somewhere on there. Colors of the old DC Comics used to color with, and I've just been using that in this style, and I absolutely love it. But with this one, I went with like a traditional digital, pick as many colors as you want, and it definitely makes it more freeing. So I think I'm going to keep pushing it, getting away from the DC stuff, like those simple colors, and trying to get back into this. But coloring the line arts, it adds this nice little effect like right there. I'm going to keep pushing that direction. I think there's something to be gained there. I'm mixing the old with this new. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. Take care, and we'll have more videos coming soon. And see you later. Bye-bye.